the story Making a Choice from the book The Magic of Love. Tharni and Veer had settled down well in their new surroundings. Ashna had gone back to her parents' home after they returned from their assignment abroad, and Tharni and Veer really missed her, especially on occasions like today when they were going to visit a dairy-cum-poultry farm. They knew that Ashna would have loved to accompany them. The farm they were going to visit was owned by the family of one of their school friends, Reina, who had invited them. This would be their first time on a farm, and they were super excited. When they reached the farm, they saw Reina and her uncle, who was part owner and manager, waiting for them at the gate. After exchanging greetings and social pleasantries, they all got into the jeep in which Reina's uncle was going to take them around the farm. First, they passed a yard surrounded by a wire fence where chickens and hens were roaming freely. Veer gave a squeal of delight as he saw a chicken being chased by another. "Oh, please, could I go in there?" he pleaded. Reina's uncle laughed and stopped the jeep. Veer ran around the fence and let him in through a gate on the other side. He tiptoed up to an unsuspecting chicken and gently picked it up. Then he brought it to where Tharni was standing just outside the fence gate so she could also touch and caress it. Then very gently he put it down and laughed as it hobble-dashed the coop. The other hens had become very agitated at the commotion and were crowing and running helter-skelter around the yard. Veer merrily chased them, enjoying the runaround they gave him. When they drove onto the field where cows and goats were kept and bred, they were fascinated by the calves and kids prancing around. One kid came up right to Tharni, bleating loudly as though asking to be picked up, and Tharni, of course, was more than happy to oblige. She felt a surge of love for the kid, who nestled up snugly against her chest. A short distance away, a calf was suckling at the mother cow while another was being fed from a bottle by a farmhand. "Why is it being fed from a bottle?" Veer wanted to know. "The new calves suckle. We feed the older ones from the bottle while the mother's cow milk is processed for sale in the market," Reina's uncle explained. Veer didn't notice the disturbed look on Tharni's face. He was just happy that the farmhand let him hold the bottle to feed the calf. After they had had their fill of the farm, they gorged on a scrumptious meal prepared especially for them. Then, thanking Reina and her uncle, they reluctantly said goodbye. It was almost dinner time when they reached home. After a quick wash, they joined their parents at the dinner table. Veer rattled on about the fascinating experiences of the day, hardly mindful of the chicken curry and rice that Mom was scooping on his plate. When Mom extended the bowl of chicken curry towards Tharni, she gently pushed it away, reaching for the vegetables instead. "Mom, I don't want to eat non-vegetarian food anymore." Suddenly there was silence around the table. Veer stopped talking and everyone looked at her in surprise. "What was that, Daru?" Dad asked, not sure that he heard right. Tharni had always enjoyed eating meat. This was a surprising new development. "Dad, after seeing the chickens, cows, and goats roam freely and fearlessly on the farm today, I just can't understand why we kill these innocent animals for food. It is cruel, especially when we have other options to feed ourselves, like vegetables and fruits that don't involve killing other creatures." Before waiting for Dad to reply, she turned to Veer. "If that chicken was the one you were chasing on the farm today, Veer, would you still want to eat it?" she asked pointedly. Veer glanced at his plate, aware for the first time of what was on it. "No, I wouldn't," he said, feeling a bit uncomfortable. Then he looked up, confused. "But I don't understand. Isn't it nature's way for the species to survive? You know, big fish eat little fish, big animals feed on little ones, and so on. Isn't that so, Dad?" "Only carnivorous animals eat other animals," Tharni quickly replied before Dad could. "Cows don't, sheep don't, nor any of the other herbivorous animals." "Well, humans are carnivorous too, right, Dad?" Veer again angled for Dad's support, knowing how much he too relished meat. "Wrong." Tharni was again quicker than Dad. "Animals don't have a choice, Veer, but we humans do. We have a brain and reasoning ability. We can choose what's good for us to eat, and I, for one, choose to be vegetarian from now on, like Mom." She smiled at Mom and generously scooped on her plate the delicious-looking green beans and potatoes. "I certainly have no problem with that," Mom smiled back. She herself preferred vegetarian food, though she didn't object to cooking meat for others. "You see how violent carnivorous animals are? You'd become violent too if you continue to eat meat like them." Tharni threw her last salvo at Veer. Dad was following the discussion between Tharni and Veer with interest. He enjoyed observing his children's mind at work. From time to time, he and Mom would exchange amused, proud glances. Both of them had always encouraged their children to think for themselves and to express their views freely. Now Dad spoke up. "Daru does have a point there. Though much can be said in favor of non-vegetarian food, especially from the point of view of people living in cold climates and those who need animal protein for various reasons, Tharu's food do give us food for thought. Noting the uncomfortable look on Veer's face, Dad ruffled his hair affectionately. Well, Veer, as long as you and I continue to enjoy eating meat, we can at least thank the animal that gives up its life to nourish us, right? I guess, Veer mumbled, his mind in turmoil. He wasn't yet sure which way to go. On the one hand, he loved meat, and on the other, he fondly remembered all the farm animals he had visited today. Oh well, I'll think about it tomorrow, he decided. Quickly brushing all thoughts aside for now, he dug ravenously into the chicken curry and rice on his plate. However, be it vegetables or meat, since both came from the universe, the family adopted the practice from that day on to take a moment before starting their meals to thank the universe for providing the bounty on their table that fed and nourished them. Thank you.